Students, gather your parchments, your dueling equipment, your armor, your spells, your arcane components, because this is Book of Dawn, IOTH Academy. I am your game master, tormented by gnomes. It is a joy to be here with everybody today, especially since we are in the company of my talented, charismatic, charming, and intelligent cast consisting of Crowan, Leg Day, Lemon Kiwi, Necra. Crowan, how are things today? Highly unlikely, but we're going to try. At some point, eventually. Leg Day, how's it going? Wait, hold up. Yeah, the reason there is XPs in the chat is because my cat knocked my headphones loose earlier, which changed the audio device, so nobody in the chat hears any of you. So we're going back to main, chat gets XP, okay, this never happened. Hey, it's the show with the magic and the students at the school, and there's sometimes they do a little murder from time to time, but it's okay, you grow up, you do some murders. It's called Book of Dawn, IOTH Academy. It's an actual play show, you can watch people roll dice, you can watch them have hormones and stuff. It's okay, it's a show, you can watch it. I'm tormented by gnomes. There's Crowan, there's Leg Day, there's Lemon Kiwi, there's Necra. Hi everyone, welcome to the show. We're here now, we're live, we're on the air, and everything's working just fine, right guys?
Did you just introduce Hogwarts Young Mafia? Hey, maybe there's some music, maybe there's some murder, maybe they come together. I don't know. I'm not saying nothing. I plead the fifth.
I mean, it's not like at least one of you isn't making drugs. Let's be honest with each other.
True.
I wonder who that one would be.
No idea. Welcome back, everybody. IOTH Academy is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play show set in a magical school, the greatest institute of magical learning in the Four Kingdoms. And, in our last episode, you should probably go back and watch the last episode. This is not a good jumping on point. I'm going to be upfront with everybody about that right now. Oh, man. In our last episode, our heroes killed a guy. By accident.
Killed the guy.
Technically,
I mean, he died of slash wounds, and none of us own a sword, so
Allegedly.
Was it really
Allegedly. I wasn't even there, so I don't know what happened.
Your Honor, the prosecution is putting forward some pretty strenuous evidence.
You may approach the desk. What? In our last episode, our heroes were awakened in the middle of the night by the caretakers and the wardens of the academy. They were rounding up students. It turns out that Inril Untermaler, head of security, had learned of a nefarious plot by outside forces to kill him. But upon interrogating the students involved, they discovered no such evidence, leading to a great deal of confusion. Inril Untermaler remains suspicious, and though magic has pretty firmly concluded that no such plot exists, he has sent word, one, to the Master of Divination to interrogate a few remaining students, and 2, to summon the Dokelfar Sage, whose responsibility it is to ferret out otherworldly and infernal influence. During that time, our heroes were on the brink of being discovered and caught. Alyxander called upon the mysterious patron who resides in his mind, Despair's Herald, to help him because they were desperate and running into trouble. At the exact same time, Athalor called upon his uncle, the voice in his head, to help. As the two otherworldly beings exerted their influence on the hapless warden at the exact same time, the consequences were tragic and dire, not only costing the warden his life, but also leading to a series of shocking discoveries as these supernatural powers became aware of each other. Athalor began questioning the very nature of the uncle who'd been accompanying him for as long as he can remember. Our heroes managed to barely extricate themselves from the situation by framing the Knights of Terra Nimbus, the elite soldiers of Vindur, Sovereign of the Sky, who were on a diplomatic mission. They accused Ika Elnau, the master of evocation at the school, and Garnet's special mentor, of being a war criminal, guilty of crimes against Terra Nimbus. Inril Untermaler and Ika Elnau faced the Knights of Terra Nimbus and refused to hand over the teacher. And afterwards, in the wake of discovering the body of the dead warden, our heroes have further framed the Knights, inciting conflict between IOTH Academy and Terra Nimbus. At the very end of this all, Garnet and the rest of our heroes successfully retrieved a mysterious, shadowy book from the crypts underneath the school and brought it safely to Master Elnau, who thankfully received this book and told Garnet that it's time to begin the next phase of her training. What key details have I left out, team?
Arianna rolled a 20 on perception and can see into the mindverse.
Good point.
True. Athalor got a mysterious wand that he discovered.
Oh, true! I got the sticky wand!
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There's
Very
no
excited about
mysterious
that.
sticky wand in the bedroom.
Adolescents do that.
Roll for dignity, please.
Dignity. Always dignity. But yeah, is there anything else that I'm leaving out? I will say that not all the students have been returned. Some of them are still under further questioning. Some of them have disappeared. Nobody knows where Sventisco is at the moment, for starters. She has not been seen since this whole affair began. If we're not missing anything, you are free to awaken the next morning to resume classes, to face another day at IOTH Academy after a night haunted by mysteries, violence, and grief. Anything else before we proceed to the next day?
Before returning back to Garnet's room, she will bring Ned's hat back to him.
Excellent.
At you.
Ned is appreciative of the hat. Cryas is really relieved that you made it back alive, is worried about you, is glad, obviously, because he didn't want the Codex to get in trouble and look bad. Yes, that is his entire reasoning. Yes, certainly. Do you answer any of his questions when he asks, where have you been, what happened?
Since it's probably, like in the AMs? Probably
Yeah,
like, talk
it's
another
in the
time,
ugly
very
hours.
tired. Very tired, just talk another time, goes back to the room.
All right, good enough. The rest of the party, are you ready for your long rest?
I think it's Alex and Athalor in the room, and then Arianna was like sitting in the corner, right at that point.
Eventually, Arianna was still comforting when last we left, I think. I don't know that she's gone to bed yet.
Nope.
there's
I am
still-
currently backed into a corner in between the strange shadowy figures hovering over Alex and Athalor.
Who only you
So,
perceive, that's right.
Yeah. Nope, she's still stuck there.
I think Alex would probably continue this conversation at least a little bit and say, oh, all right, let's get this straight here, Athalor. How long has your voice been there?
As long as I've been alive, really. I always thought that they're just a voice that would go away eventually. I didn't expect that there was more.
Have you ever seen them? Have they manifested into anything, or have they just been a voice?
Just space in my head.
Space. They have any goals, urge you to do anything? Or is it just there along with the ride?
I don't know. They sometimes have insight into people, like how they work. I don't really know.
Like for us? Kind of gestures to himself and Arianna.
No,
Like-
more for like adults, you know? Like caretakers and faculty, they seem to understand how they work.
Do they allow you to do anything else? Give you any sort of power?
Well, I think that's what lets me speak into your mind.
Right. Alex kind of like
Athalor
shakes
kind of
his head and
turns to
goes,
Arianna. Like, I was talking about this thing.
Uh-huh.
Alex like shakes his head and just goes and like sits down and rub his temples a little bit.
Athalor. Oh, right, it's doing this.
Things are happening.
We do not understand them. We cannot trust them. We must not reveal information to them.
They're my friends, and we all know about Alex's. Why can't they know?
The human is your friend. The other is unknown.
Athalor kind of looks a little bit unnerved. He's sort of like scrunching his fists a little bit and then trying his best to remove the tension from them. I don't know. Whatever it, he, they is, they are, like, it's not anything different from what you've always known of me.
It might feel that way to you.
Sorry, carry on.
Might feel that way to you, but it doesn't to me.
I don't know what to say.
Maybe we'll have more on it tomorrow then.
Is this my cue to go? Are you guys okay? Because I feel like I should go.
It's okay. Yeah, we should all get some sleep, I think. It's kind of like flops down on the bed, even though the Alpha have never slept this way. Like he's always trancing instead, but just in pure exasperation, like starfish. Ah,
Yeah. Okay, you two work this. I'm gonna go. Good night. Think. Bye.
Good night.
Yeah. Bye. Bye. Okay.
I think this might take a while to work out. Do you think that they talk?
Probably.
Then let them do their thing and us do ours, right? Hopefully tonight's events will blow over. Who knows? I feel like things are going to get more complicated.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's that simple, Athalor. I don't think we can just do our thing and they can do theirs and it's something we can just ignore forever. I don't think it works that way.
Mine doesn't have control of me. Does yours dictate what you do?
No.
Then it's our decision, Alex.
Let's hope that's the case.
Does silence fall upon their room?
I think a very thick and awkward silence.
All right. Neither of the young students has an easy time falling asleep that night. The sound of the other's breath carries oddly loudly. The familiar hum of the gyre seems so very, very far away today. Meanwhile, in Garnet and Arianna's room, who's back to bed first?
I don't know. I don't know the timing.
I'm not sure.
All right. It doesn't really matter to me because the amount of time that Arianna could have spent comforting Athalor is fairly long, and Garnet had a very long journey to make herself. So let us say eventually they're reunited. Ned's hat has been restored to where it belongs. Garnet and Arianna meet again late at night, now early in the morning. There will be very little sleep had. Tomorrow will be a rough day of classes. Do they have anything to say or share before they go to bed, or just a quick good night and off they go?
Is everything okay? Garnet, we haven't seen you. Wow, the last couple of hours or 8 out, I don't even know. It's been a long night, hasn't it?
I think we should have a meeting with everyone. I think we all need to talk, and we still have classes tomorrow, so I don't think we should spend all night worrying about it. So let's talk over breakfast, lunch, something tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
I think we all need some
Night.
sleep right now. Good night.
All right. None of you have an easy time sleeping that night, and you are all going to have difficulty in your classes the next morning from focusing, except, of course, for Garnet, because, sustained by the empty negative energies of the multiverse. Will you be meeting at breakfast or at lunch?
Depends on when everyone wakes up. Are people sleeping in?
I mean, if you sleep in, you're going to miss classes.
Roll for sleeping in.
Arianna is definitely at breakfast.
All right.
Don't think there's a question about that.
Yeah, I imagine Alex probably woke up pretty early, couldn't fall back to sleep.
Mhm.
Said screw it, went to an early breakfast.
All right.
There's no way that Alex moving. What is he gonna stab me?
Alex pulls the ice knife out now.
I'll shiv your spell matrices, I will.
You lied to me for too long.
All right. Midterms are coming up, which means that, and the first midterm that you've got is everybody's favorite, numerology. So people are already starting to talk about studying and preparing for that. And now that you're in the ring, the exams are more rigorous than they were in the lodges. This is going to be a little bit more of an affair. So all of you are going to need to start studying this week. The way studying works is you can choose whatever approach you want to studying. Imagine this like your end of year projects, except on a smaller scale. There's a studying phase and a testing phase. For the studying phase, you can take whatever sort of tack you want. You can ask someone for help. You can spend time in the library. Whatever approach you want, make a check. If you succeed, you'll get advantage on one of your 2 exam rolls. But the 2 exam rolls are predetermined. You don't get to decide what those skill rolls are. So, we're in the studying phase right now. The exams are next week. So you'll need to balance what you're doing with studying. After this numerology exam is when the Clash of the Codex is supposed to begin. So, in addition to preparing for classes, those of you who are dueling are going to have a lot to do. And Alexander is going to be dealing with signups, filling out forms, registering the room, all sorts of stuff. So, before we move on to everybody studying, you can tell that your peers are already going in on it, but the energy is weird. It is weird today because of everything that's happened. Some of your classmates are missing from their classes. Even some of the ones that came back after being interrogated aren't feeling up to showing up in school. Everybody's whispering and talking about what happened last night. Somebody found a body in the water underneath when they were going for a morning swim. There's all kinds of rumors going around.
Swimming in the body pit. God.
It didn't used to be a body pit. So, yeah, it's weird. People are passing notes. There's this hushed tension throughout Tarselmoor Hall. When will our heroes gather together? After you hear about your exam schedule. We'd say breakfast. There's a scene where you're in numerology. Professor Ralnor has all of her tassels with bees dangling off. She's describing what's going to be on the exam, what sort of study aids are allowed, etc., how it's going to affect your grade. And then later on, perhaps, let's say, is lunch good for everybody?
Business brunch?
Business lunch, yes. You can expense that. All right. So, meeting in the large hall area, the gathering hall, tables and tables and tables of students. Is that where you're going to have your conversation, or are you going to look for somewhere a little bit more private?
How cornery a table can we find?
Well, let me drag you to... Here's the area.
Hmm.
Can we find one of these?
Yeah, no, you can pull that off. That shouldn't be a problem.
One of these hard corners.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you've got the last 4 seats. There's various students gathered in, like at the next seat's over. But if you lean over, hopefully you'll be able to not, get bothered too much.
Athalor tries to sit right next to Garnet, if possible.
Okay.
I think basically as soon as Alex gets there and sits down, I'll look at Garnet and... Where were you off to last night, towards the end?
I think we have all a lot to talk about last night. Is this really the right place to do it?
Probably not.
Is there somewhere else you'd prefer? Could always head back down to the crypts. I'm sure we're not filled with floating knights
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah, that would be great. Just quickly, I know we have class soon. It's just should remain private. I think we have some things to talk about that should remain private.
Yeah.
Good point.
I grab snacking bacon.
All right.
Gets up,
Plus
starts
1
walking
secret
towards the crypt.
bacon, and a lot of you make your way down into the crypts below. Eerie, dark, but familiar to all of you. And let me clear these knights out of here because they've.
I was gonna say,
departed.
oh, hey, what's up, friends?
Hey,
Still there.
what's
Hey.
going on? Hey-o.
Boys are back in town.
All right.
As everyone maybe sits down, I'll like close the door behind us and be like, so who wants to start?
I guess I'll start since Alexander and Arianna found out last night, and apparently it's probably something that should be mentioned. I have an imaginary friend like Alex does.
What? Like what kind? Who? Huh?
Just a voice in my head.
Whose voice?
I don't know. Someone's, presumably.
You don't know who it is? Is it an infernal?
No. I just thought
How
they
do
were an
you know?
imaginary friend. Like, I never brought it up before because I figured it's an imaginary friend. They don't have any malevolent intent. Otherwise, I probably would have brought up when we were doing this the first time around.
You don't know who's talking to you, but they aren't doing anything bad? Is that what I'm getting here?
I mean, I think it's just a part of my brain, the same part that lets me speak telepathically to you. And it just has kind of its own voice.
Why were you so upset yesterday? Looking at Athalor.
Well, I tried to use my telepathy to exert some influence on a warden. Well, you know which warden. And I saw everything. They're war wizards, and they have seen things I couldn't even imagine. I saw his friends die, and I felt it, and his failure. It ran as if it was my own, and it just rolled through me.
Oh. So, does the kind of looking at Alex, does the messenger know this voice at all?
They didn't. Now? I don't know. Know of them more, at least. Seems like a rather tense situation between the two. Not trusting, at least.
Yeah, I don't know if they're on good terms.
I don't think so.
So the messenger seems to know something that you all don't?
I imagine the messenger probably knows more than I do.
Probably
This
so.
is the first time you've caused harm with your friend, Athalor?
Yeah, I tried to do the telepathy thing that we do all the time, but I just wanted to try and exert some more influence through it, and I thought that maybe they could help, and they didn't help.
Unfortunate timing.
Yeah.
We did not cause that. The other caused that.
Doesn't change that someone's dead.
How was the body disposed of?
It was in the moat, and I think someone found it this morning while swimming.
Yeah.
Oh.
Arianna, that should get rid of the evidence, right?
Maybe. I didn't really see the disposal, so yeah, I was kind of talking to a guard to distract
Oh.
them to not find Alex and Athalor dumping a body off of a bridge.
You did great, by the way. Thanks.
No problem.
Yeah. Garnet, you seem to have some thoughts on that. Do you blame me for what happened?
Well, I think it was unnecessary for Athalor to lie about his name. After I said who I was, you said you were a Lozrin, which caused that situation, but what's done is done. That's the only part that wish was done differently, but I understand the stress of that situation, but
We wouldn't have gone out there in the first place if we weren't all as invested in saving Ika now as you were.
Yeah, it's a good reason. She's pretty much my person. I don't have a family to go back to like you guys do. She is that. And
Is she okay?
she's good. I went up to last night I had Ned's hat, the one that provides a disguise, went up to the spire, question mark? Spire. And spied on some meetings with Una. And the knights were here to arrest Elnau for crimes against their person. I don't care. And surprisingly, Untamaler stuck up for her and they left and they did not arrest her. So there was no need to interfere, but I did not want to take the chance of her going away forever.
I'm glad we helped then.
Yeah. Sorry for being hard on you. I don't know. They shouldn't have interfered anyway with what we were doing. We just have to be more careful next time.
I think we can agree on that. But if we're on the same page that it was necessary, then so be it.
So the book that I found was Master Elnau's book is an important book I will be studying with it and more with her from now on. And maybe I would like to let you guys in on some plans, but I want to be honest with you all, but only if you're honest with me. And I feel like we've all had our secrets being together all these years.
I would offer
Yeah.
to let you talk to them, but I don't know how well that would end.
Well, it's a round of
Good.
introductions.
I mean, the last time they extended themselves from me, we had to throw away a body.
Yeah.
Athalor,
Ah.
please roll an intelligence saving throw.
Oh no, I'm being punished.
With disadvantage unless you want to spend one of the 3 inspiration you've been given so far.
Oh shit.
No, let's do it with this.
Okay. An 8. All right. As you're saying this, your head becomes loud, crowded. It's not a blaring noise. It's not a keening painful. It's like you went from the emptiness of the crypts to a crowded, echoey room. You start to hear multiple conversations, multiple mutterings, multiple discussions all going on at the same time. You are perceiving the surface thoughts of your friends. Alexander, what are the surface level thoughts going through your head right now?
Alex is surprised because he assumed that Garnet would be angry and not understanding of murder in that context.
Athalor does not laugh. That's a leg day laugh.
Out of character, out of character.
And he was kind of, all the stuff is kind of blown up and he's kind of ready to go off, but he's like on the simmered down now and he's like, oh, all right. Still weird, but this is manageable now.
Garnet, what is going through top level your mind?
Would they help me kill him?
Arianna, what is going through the top level of your mind?
A lot. I feel like she'd be thinking like a mile a minute, all of these things that she's trying to make sense of. Like, okay,
Thanks
I,
for
I
this.
still I still have holes of what happened last night. I don't know what's going on with the people inside either Alex or Athalor's heads. But also, what is going on with Athalor and Garnet?
There's just
like,
a lot of different conversations happening.
Just like
I feel like I'm missing
Ariana's, like the
something.
surface thoughts are worth like 5 people's.
As it
What's for breakfast?
Yeah, what's for lunch, huh?
Oh yeah,
I wonder if we got any of that bacon for me.
as these thoughts become more and more crowded, you feel as if somebody has placed their hands over your ears, muffling them. The sound is still there, but it's now at a distance. You can't understand it, and it feels more manageable. And you feel like it lies within you to control that volume, though perhaps it's not only you. Perhaps you have a extra hand in this.
Okay. That's new. Athol just looks a little bit spaced, I suppose, to the outward, maybe a touch twitchy, which probably doesn't come over well as someone who's just been identified as maybe of many minds.
Are we picking up on that, or
If you'd like to roll either Athalor can choose to make that obvious, or you can roll insight to pick up on
I
that.
think Athol tries his best to hide it, knowing that he's currently trying to explain this, and it would go over poorly to look completely unhinged.
All right. Anybody who wishes to can roll. But Alexander, you're going to need to do that with disadvantage, please.
Oh, true. 10.
All right. A 10. Garnet, you definitely pick up on it. Arianna, you pick up on it. Alexander, you're a little bit in your own head at the moment, pondering these exact thoughts. A lot of you may respond as you see fit.
why are you sweating so much over there? What's happening?
Oh, it got real loud in my head all of a sudden. I don't know if it was them, but it sounded like you.
Like me?
Like all of you.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Sorry, not cursing.
I thought it totally does laugh, and Karen's like, I don't think it's your fault.
Okay.
Are there any remaining questions we have for each other?
Well, has everyone spoken the full truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God?
I think so, but I gotta say, I think there are a lot of holes that I'm having here. If I wasn't saying everything, I don't think I would know.
What kind of truth are you looking for?
Yeah, Garnet.
So let me get this straight. You, pointing at Alex, you have some infernal god you're having some dealings with.
You know this?
You have an imaginary friend that you don't know who it is and just killed a guy. And now your brain's fuzzy. And we're just gonna go and have some lunch?
I brought bacon down.
Oh, even better.
Oh, I don't know if it's relevant, but just to completely make sure we're not making any omissions, there's a weird wand in our room now, and I don't know how it got there.
Now there's a wand? What? What-
Elaborate?
Okay. I know it sounds like a weird choice of words, but there's a wand, and I found it, and it's sticky. Like a spider's web. Like if you touch it and like you bring your hand up, it won't fall off your hand.
Athalor, what
And-
you do on your own time is,
Yeah, I think that's
completely
oversharing. That's
on
not the type
you.
of truth I wanted.
Wait. No,
Fine, I'll keep my one to myself.
I was gonna say I can confirm that, but now I understand that that's gonna sound like something else that I don't mean.
Hmm, yeah.
What else are you doing, Arianna? I thought we were
Yeah,
friends.
she saw my sticky one.
To be fair, this is.
Are you guys? You guys? It's okay if you guys are together. Can you just tell the rest of the group so we don't have to third and fourth wheel?
Yeah,
Uh.
I don't know what was going on when I walked in on you two yesterday.
What? What did you see?
Oh, okay. Hold on. I can explain that because I don't want you guys to get any weird ideas. I guess maybe this is what you meant by keeping things. I don't know. This might be just the whole truth here. I, after dealing with the guard, and I guess after the dumping of the body, I went back to Athalor and Alex's room because you weren't in our room. So I just wanted to
right.
see if you were there. So I checked on Athalor and Alex's room just to see if you were there. And Athalor was alone. And I'm sorry, you were crying. So I just went in to comfort him, like by sitting next to him and putting my arm around him. That was it.
Yeah.
Kind of side eye Alex, like
A slow nod.
slow nods with Alex.
I swear!
It was just after I'd seen the inside of that warden's head, and everything was just too much.
Yeah. I had no idea what was going on. I mean, Athalor, you kind of explained it, but yeah, no, it makes more sense now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I was the most verbose last night.
Well, I'm glad you got some comfort. Will you leave like a sock on the door next time or something?
I'll just stick the one to it.
Oh, yeah, the one. Yeah.
Unless you need it for something else, then just you don't have to. Never mind.
I was telling you because I need you to cast Identify on this wand.
It is like
It's actually a wand.
Okay.
These aren't euphemisms.
Okay. Yes. Sure.
I need you to figure out what it is and why it's weird.
I'm
Yeah.
listening to my mouth shut on this one and not
Totally.
Garnet, MD.
not incriminate myself.
Always happy to help a couple of best buds. So when do you need some help with this? Do you have it on you now?
No. Just whenever we have time, I guess. It's not pressing.
Okay. So back to business here. Untermaler was interrogating students up in that conference. Insert names here. Don't know them. Somebody is trying to kill Untermaler amongst them. All I know, it is him. That's all I heard. And my plan would be to talk to Sventisco wherever they are. I haven't seen them yet. And probably figure out how the Kiss John went from improve IOTH, make IOTH help people to let's kill people in IOTH. Because that seems not like a good idea.
Quite
Especially if they're going to
drastic.
be fucking messy.
Yeah, seems like we missed a fucking arc there.
Quite a drastic shift.
Yeah, that sounds not good.
And they got caught already?
Oh, they're shit at this.
They
Yeah,
were in
seems
the other
so.
room. They were in the other room upstairs. But Elnau was very upset with Untermuller because he was more focused on interviewing students at midnight, and he was helping her. And I was very pissed and upset at him that he would prioritize damaging students instead of protecting his colleagues. But we should really get down to figure out what the Kistron are up to, because if they're just going to go around murdering people, that's not okay.
I understand you're upset. Isn't it from Untermoller's point of view, him trying to save his own life over saving Elnau?
He ended up helping her out in the end, but
It's even better.
In Garnet's defense, Underwater can fight students. Elno had to deal with the Kingdom of Terra Nimbus.
True.
That needs some backup.
Good point.
Yeah, that also will definitely come back up later, by the way. The warden saw the blood. Are going to... I don't know.
Oh, I read a word for that recently in a book, Foreshadowing.
Yeah, that fits.
wait, you think the Knights will be back?
Either the school wardens will pursue something with that. I mean, if they believe the knights came here and killed someone, a warden is going to be missing. They're surely going to know that, hey, this warden is gone. The knights were here where they weren't supposed to be. They know that. You can kind of add 2 and 2 together there.
Well, this
What-
would be a good time for you to mention to Garnet that you found them down in the crypt and had to chase them out. Although Garnet was down there as well, but
Garnet
you went
was
down
there.
with...
Yeah, I was down there afterwards with wardens and chased them out. They zoomed off. I don't know where. And I led the wardens to the Hall of Records where they saw blood.
Well, wouldn't the wardens want to go after the knights and not the other way around? So why would the knights come back if they
Well,
were
not necessarily,
found by the wardens?
maybe not necessarily knights coming back, but that situation coming up just in the future in general.
Yeah. Good point.
Because if they fled, it's clearly not resolved. And have we heard any rumors, Gnomes, about the Knights of Terra Nimbus like getting caught or leaving, or just anything involving them in the mornings hubbub?
You can each make a skill check of some kind if you'd like to see if you've heard any such rumors. It's not super. It wouldn't be super well known, so it's a fairly high DC. Alexander, what skill would most apply here?
I think over breakfast.
Charisma.
I think over breakfast, Alex would have been like trying to get as much info, especially after he heard about the body being found, and like, oh, like, you know, just ask a bunch of questions about that and kind of try to lead it towards a direction of like he didn't know anything, but he's trying to figure stuff out. So deception.
I would allow that.
Okay. 11.
Well, the people you've been talking to don't know too much. They've got all sorts of rumors flying around, but they are not privy to anything. Athalor, was this on your mind at all at breakfast, or were you otherwise preoccupied?
I take it I wasn't having the intelligence fail at breakfast at all.
Correct, it just kicked in.
I think Athalor's a little bit preoccupied with my friends all hate me.
We've all felt that before. Was Garnet...
Relatable content here on
Relatable
Castles and
content.
Castles.
Was Garnet at all investigating the rumors of the last night at breakfast, or was her mind elsewhere?
Probably, yeah. Probably, like, always gossipy and shit. Yeah.
Okay. What would you want to use for this?
Can I just do a flat charisma roll, or do you want, like, a specific skill?
You can do charisma. I'd allow that.
Okay.
Roll for clout.
Roll for clout. Don't know where my sheet is. Oh, 18.
18. Okay. You heard that somebody who stayed up late overheard the wardens talking about Knights of Terra Nimbus in the crypt. and that they're not supposed to be there. Somebody who rooms near Cryas heard him complaining, informing a warden loudly. Well,
Oh, yeah.
in a loud whisper, right? One of those loud whispers telling them that the Knights of Terra Nimbus had invaded their territory, weren't supposed to be down there. It was a diplomatic violation. And so, yeah, you have heard that information has gotten out there. There are also rumors that a body was discovered.
No details around the body part.
Nope, just a bunch of murders, and the Hall of Records is closed today. And there are wardens posted at the entrance.
Okay, I share all of that, but mostly focus on, well, the student records room is being investigated. It's closed off. I don't imagine we had time to wash the situation away, right?
I
Only
got rid of the
from-
blood leading out of it, but not inside.
At the very least, it shouldn't lead them to the trail that a body was dumped into the water. Might have heard it, but maybe there's a bit
So
more time.
no one saw you?
Not as far as we know, Arianna distracted the nearest warden.
Unless someone was spying on us.
Athalor at this point would like to look around the crypt to see if someone's spying on us.
Roll a perception check to see if you're being spied on.
Roll for paranoia.
Mm-hmm. You do not feel that you're being spied on, but as you look around and extend your senses, you can feel you're reaching out with more than just your ears. Your mind is expanding, gliding past your friends, not heeding their surface thoughts, but focusing elsewhere to see if there are any other sentient presences nearby, and you detect nothing.
Okay. I think at least we're safe down here from prying eyes and ears.
It's only 6 set of ears here.
All right.
Oh,
Athalor just realizes that they did the series. Like, oh no.
All are accounted for.
All right. What would you like to do next?
probably one last thing of just saying like, well, now that there's murders happening at the school, some we are responsible for, and some that are happening that are being planned about from the kids, John. I think it's going to be especially important for us this year to be a team and protect each other.
Speaking of which, are any of you doing okay at numerology?
Yeah, Athalor. Let's go to class.
I'd appreciate some help. I'm terrible at it.
For what it's worth, Garnet, I agree.
Yeah, you guys know I have your back, right?
Yeah.
Is this a good moment for a group hug? No? No?
Is your friend gonna not like that? What does your friend like?
I don't,
Do you like
I
us? I'm gonna get killed.
No. You're not gonna get killed. Like, we've connected telepathically so many times. At this point, I'd assume that he likes you.
Yay!
But I don't know.
Love infernal friends,
They're not an infernal.
but you don't know them. They could be.
That's gonna help me sleep at night.
It's fine. Come on, let's just group hug it out. Alex just has like a
Yeah.
strangely like large smile, just like it's gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Just come on in.
Hugs. Oh, your hands are cold. Ah!
Yeah, that happens. That's
Group
probably.
hug! Yeah!
Oh, you
Just
absolute
expect that.
corpse. Ugh.
This is
Alright.
for very convenient. Alex throat slitting of 3 people at once.
My plan. It has worked.
Excellent. All right. After a little post-murder group hug, our heroes return to their life academic. And they've got the duels to look forward to, the Clash of the Codex coming up ahead. But first, a little bit of study along the way. Let's quickly move through how each of you are preparing for your numerology midterm, and we can proceed from there. Alexander, how are you preparing for numerology?
Good old Codex study group.
All right. What skill would you like to use for that? Persuasion to represent the fact that you are study buddies with people, or just a good old investigation check in the library? What are you thinking?
Probably persuasion, get everyone together, emphasize the importance of exams, and that, as the Codex states, keep helping each other out.
All
and
right.
all benefit from it to be the best of the best.
All right. Roll a persuasion check.
Can the rest of us aid in this as fellow Codex members who would presumably try and get in on this group?
Yeah, if you all want to be in the study group, you can also roll persuasion checks if you'd like.
Athalor definitely does. I kind of assume that his uncle kind of checks his math, so he's not good at doing it by himself.
All right, a 15 on persuasion, that's going to be good enough to get advantage in the study phase. Arianna, a little bit underneath. You could use your
an
adaptive
inspiration.
or some of the inspirations that have been thrown your way, if you'd
Adaptive.
I'm gonna roll again.
like. All right, we're burning an inspiration on that one. Did anyone else burn an inspiration there?
Athalor.
All right.
Well.
Wow, unlucky, a 9. Okay, so surprising nobody. Garnet, what approach are you taking for preparing with your studies?
Oh, is everyone doing Codex study group? Then
The 3 of them have decided to. If you want to be in on it, roll persuasion as well.
Sure. I will maybe a lucky dice that one. Or wait, is there any inspos? Wasn't.
Yeah,
keeping track.
there's an inspiration in here for you.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, cool.
go.
Everybody except poor Arianna, unless you want to use your adaptive dice to add 1d4.
Wait, I
To
have
the
adaptive
13?
To the 13, yeah.
You know what? I probably need it.
All right, go ahead and roll
So-
1d4 and add it.
Yeah.
Okay, the lot of you, thanks to the power of friendship and the Codex, are going to get advantage on one of your 2 rolls that you have to make for numerology. Numerology is an extremely demanding subject, so when you're sitting for your midterm later on, all completely hushed through the class except for the sound of beads gently jostling against each other, the thousands of beads covering the gnome instructor's outfit, all strung on tassels. All right, so what I would like you to do is each of you roll, first off, an Arcana check. You get 1 reroll during these 2 checks if you succeeded during your study phase. Go ahead and roll.
All right.
I'm scared.
Oh, that's a good roll.
Easy good. Oh, natty 20.
Oh.
Alexander with only an 11. Do you want to cash that reroll in, that academic
What?
reroll in?
Oh, what are these 2 checks gonna be?
The second one's going to be investigation.
Oh boy.
This is on a separate day, so your adaptive dice has regenerated.
Oh, all right. Jeez, we'll just adaptive now.
Okay,
Roll
roll
the die.
1d4 and keep your fingers crossed.
Adapt or die, baby.
Okay, a 13 on
13.
that. And Arianna, do you want to spend that study dice that you got to reroll that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me a reroll on that. There we go. There we go. You get bailed out at the last second by something that you recall going over with the whole group. Someone made up a funny little mnemonic for you to remember it, and it jumps into your brain right when you're blanking in front of an incredibly complex equation, and you manage to push your way through it. Okay.
Jimmy Neutron Brain Blast.
Let's go.
All right. The next part of this is going to be go ahead and each of you roll an investigation check to go through the example problems and the study materials that have been acquired. We did get a treasure, which was a study guide, so one of you in the group can spend that treasure to get an additional reroll if you've already used your reroll. Each
Did I
of
ever get my
you,
Grey's Anatomy book?
you do have that, but it has absolutely nothing to do with this particular course.
This anatomy book will help me with calculus.
Uh-oh.
Shouting
best
on
of the
it. 'cause I-
best.
Reroll.
A study one's connected to that.
Hey, there we go. The reroll.
Okay, all right.
Good.
And that's going to bail out your performance in the first half, which was only mediocre. That natural 20 is going to clear you right through to the end. Garnet, do you want to reroll that study dice? Okay, go ahead and give me that.
Oh,
Hey,
Okay, dirty 20. And
okay.
smart bunch.
you all passed with flying colors. Well done.
The brains on these kids.
You've made it through
cracked.
midterms without any additional
Aced.
problems. Well done.
Nice.
All right. Next up, as excitement tears through the school, the Codex Clash is going to be upon you. All right. So, what we're going to go ahead and do next is we're going to move on to the duel section. Give me one moment here.
Dueling
getting there.
time.
We're finally getting there. Thought it
I'm
would never
gonna
happen.
go up against the gauntlet of Tim's.
Oh, I'm ready.
Like 90%, I'm sure I'm losing my match. So I gotta get some.
I wonder if I can
snacks
pull
in
up.
the-
Let me see if I can pull
Some
up.
snacks? I got you, Garnet.
Snack
Got
support.
You got
Now-
some popcorn ready?
I'm going to go ahead and
Watchers.
pull up the. Where is it? The bracket in a different. So that we can show it on stream here.
Yay!
Oh yeah.
I'm going to need the folks in the actual cast to just go ahead and use your imagination / the Discord because I can't pull it up for everybody at the same time. So,
Okay.
in the first round, Lexali took down Antioch, who's a next year student. In the second match, Ned defeated Terbarisa. In the third match, Ruby came out ahead of Lutetti. And match 4 is going to be Athalor versus Dubin. That's going to be one of the first things up on the agenda. Match 5. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll just say, just a note, I guess Alex would find it impressive that Lixali took down a student a year ahead. So probably chat with her at a certain point after, but keep
Noted.
going.
Noted. We will have conversations.
You have done well, my apprentice.
Magali versus Garnet. Match, what is this? Match 6 still hasn't happened yet. Match 7 is going to be Arianna versus Vernovi, which is slightly tragic.
Oh.
And in match 8, Aoife went down to Cryus, who had absolutely no fun whatsoever and just try-harded the whole thing.
Try hard.
So, on the day of the duel, I know that we have a certain order for the matches, but which of you would like to have your match first?
Does initiative roll this?
Yeah, why don't
Roll
the
for
three of you who have matches go ahead and roll for initiative, and whoever goes up first is going to go in first.
It's the only fair way of saying shouty not it.
True.
Oh, for
Nice.
fuck's sakes.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Go, Ariana. Roll
Athalor with an
initiative.
11, Garnet with a 15.
I'm blind.
It's up near the top middle of your character sheet, and it's not your fault because we never ever actually do combat in this game.
Oh, I found
Like,
it.
None of us suspect for combat.
Right?
Why is it my idea? And I have to go
Congratulations, great idea, Garnet. I think you made a really, really good choice. I think you made an
Agreed.
excellent choice. Now, we only have about 20 minutes left in the half, so I think we're gonna start the duels after the half and take care of a few other things before we move in with that. Sorry for the debate, everybody.
Guidance.
We'll go through the rules. We'll go through the rules. You're not supposed to come in with any buffs on you. You're not supposed to have any magic items. In the first round, you're allowed to cast spells on yourself. After that, you start fighting. So you get 1 round to buff yourselves.
Okay.
Does shape water work on health potion fluid?
It's the
Oh, no, that's
water
interesting.
composition of a potion. Health
Great
potion.
question.
Wikipedia.
Never thought of that in my
for a
life.
friend.
You could just drink it like a normal person.
You're not supposed to have any potions in
But I
this whole
can't bring the
thing.
potion with me.
You're just gonna fucking float a
I
potion.
just be like, hey, it's just me and my wine.
Just me and my water. Yeah, staying hydrated. Don't worry
You
about
said
it.
no glass containers. You never said-
hydration.
Is that
God.
legal?
Oh, it's so invigorating.
It's
I
what the
feel
body
much
craves.
better.
Okay. Before we get into that, like I said, we have a couple of other things to do because a whole week goes by before the tournament begins, and a lot can happen over the course of a week. The first thing that I would like to tend to do, Alexander, aside from promotion, handling all the logistics of the tournament, so on and so forth, is there anything else that you need to take, and studying, of course, for your courses, is there anything else that you need to take care of this week?
Ooh. Need to take care of?
Or want to take care
Nah.
of that you choose to do with your time?
Should take care of. I mean, if there's, a second or two,
Mm-hmm.
he would probably chat with Darina, try to, save face a little bit, 'cause he's probably ignoring her for a while.
Ghosted.
I was actually
Yeah.
going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Darina doesn't seem super hurt or sad that you haven't been spending time with her. It's just that she's not been really spending as much time with you. It's like if you haven't been paying attention to her and hanging out with her, she's just gonna spend time with people who will.
Yeah.
So she's still happy to talk with you and hang out with you. But you get the impression that if you don't continue to make her a priority, she's just gonna drift off. No hard feelings.
Okay.
She's sort of all over the place. How does Alexander feel about that? Perhaps he was expecting to be a little more missed.
I mean, I think he was, but he's actually he's okay with this development, I think, because there's a lot in his plate. He obviously knew that he couldn't really keep up with everything. So
Mhm.
it's probably fine. But he was a little bit damn, I thought my impression would have been more lasting than that.
I thought the fear horniness would really set in.
Yeah, really did.
It was a
We'll have to work on that for next time, but that's fine.
Gotta cast thaumaturgy twice next time, Alex.
Yeah.
Exactly. You have to re-up every so often.
Yeah, gotta
Okay.
have 3 effects instead of just 2.
Mhm. So, given that that seems to be sort of fading by the wayside, is that still how he spends his off time, or is there anything else?
Besides that, only thing I can think of is probably just continue with trying to map out, maybe find some unknown places amongst this hall that are, more secretive. Still enjoys when he has, rare free time mapping out and stuff.
Okay. Roll a cartography tools check.
17.
All right, you're plumbing the depths of Tarselmoor Hall. There's a lot of old maps that are no longer accurate. It seems like a couple centuries ago, a lot of changes were made, a lot of overhauls were made. There are chambers marked on the old maps that don't seem to be there anymore. It's a little almost suspicious, the discrepancies that you're noticing.
I think about noticing chambers that aren't there anymore. Alex did the thing where you knock on the wall, see if it's it's hollow, there's something behind it or something like that.
For the most part, it seems like there used to be secret chambers, and they were revealed, cleaned out, and made into non-secret chambers. So the exact opposite of what would normally happen. That said, there is a vault in the crypt. At the very, very bottom of the crypt. That you've discovered.
Okay.
Also, you keep having dreams about that warden.
What about the warden? Just the like the situation that happened, or?
Yeah, that overlapped with memories of the battle where the warden's friends died, where the warden wasn't fast enough to save them. Roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
Sure.
You've just been browsing Traumala.
11.
Okay. This should probably bother you more than it does. But
I think
it
Alex
doesn't.
has tried probably pretty hard, whether it's conscious on his end or not, to like desensitize himself from like real messed up stuff, just war, conflict, blood, gore. He's just like have to not be affected by it, get through it to, you know, achieve his goals and keep on making sure that he can kind of be the best he can be here.
And every time that you wake up from those dreams, not in a cold sweat, not with your heart pounding, just a normal awakening, you feel cold. You feel so chill. And even that doesn't hurt you. But it does seem to emanate from you. It leaches into the air around you until you focus on it and call it back. But it answers it responds to you. Whatever happened on that night when the Herald and Athalor's mysterious patron met, your powers seem to have strengthened. This is not your warlock magic. This is something else.
I think at very first when it starts happening, Alex is like a little bit weirded out, uncomfortable by it, but then as it keeps happening, grows more comfortable by it, and almost at certain points wants to just like fully let go and just see what that energy does. But doesn't, and probably pushes it a little farther out every time, a little farther out, and then brings it back.
Okay. Does it ever touch anyone?
Not for now.
Okay. But it could.
It definitely could.
Okay. All right.
Dorina!
Wow, okay,
I want
dark.
to hang out again.
Just want to
Alright.
test something that I just
Little guinea
learned.
pig.
True villain arc. All right.
No.
Next order
Oh,
of business.
Behold,
I have no idea what it was. Hi, everybody. Behold, an act of God. We're just going to go ahead and take our break now so that we can get these acts of God and our duels going. Maybe look under the hood and see which deity is angry at us. Personally, I blame Vindor. But we'll go ahead and take our break. Take 5. We'll be back.